You know something I'm getting tired of? I'm getting tired of people coming up with literal bullshit arguments to try to justify what? I'm not sure. Calling people lazy? So, you see this thing going around where, four Mexicans can, live in an apartment together and pay $400 a piece, and they'll make $2,500 a month take home, and in a few years they'll have $250,000 and they can go get $1 million line of credit. First of all, I don't know what the hell you're going to do with $1 million line of credit. You got to be able to pay that back. I'm assuming you mean use that to invest and start a business of some sort. You do realize that 90%, or I'm sorry, was it 70% or 90%? I think it's 70%. 70% of new businesses fail within 3 years. These past couple years, it's over 90%. So yeah, good luck paying off that $1 million line of credit if your business is one of the 70% that fails. Okay? But let's forget about that. Let's talk about the bullshit numbers that they come up with. First of all, have you ever tried to share an apartment with 4 other people? Now, if you are 4 immigrants who are here illegally and you all have a vested interest in the same thing, that may or may not work until 1 or 2 of you get deported. Now what are you going to do? And then let's talk about 4 Americans trying to live in an apartment together. You ever try to live with 4 basically have 4 separate families, even if they're one-person families, living in one place together? Good luck with that. That's not easy. It's not as easy as you think. And remember, your utilities aren't split 4 ways, because 4 people are going to use 4 times the amount of electricity and 4 times the amount of water. The only thing you're going to save money on is, you'll save a little bit of money on heat and air, because you're going to have 4 bodies heating the place and 4 bodies needing heat. You'll save a little bit on heat and air. Let's assume you go without air conditioning and just have heat. You're going to use 4 times the amount of water, so you don't really save anything there. And you're going to use 4 times the amount of electricity, so you don't really save anything there. Trust me, I've seen this. My water bill when we had 7 people in the house was like $260 a month. When it was just me and Michelle, $40 a month. Yeah, it's a big deal. My electric bill was, $1,100 a month, and when it was just Michelle and I, $220 a month. It's a big difference, okay? More people use more utilities, so you're not saving anything there. The only thing you're saving is rent. Most places will not let you have 4 people in an apartment. So now you're already using cheat codes to somehow get a place to allow you to have 4 people. Because usually, if you want 4 people in an apartment, they're going to charge you accordingly. So you're not going to save nearly as much as you think. One person might be able to get a place for $700 a month. It'll be a real shithole, but you might be able to do it. Well, if you run a place that can actually support 4 people, they're probably going to charge you more like $1,500, $1,600, $1,800 a month, and that's for a really, really cheap place. So you're not saving as much as you think. But he comes up with this bullshit $2,500 take home. First of all, to take home $2,500 a month, you need to make $3,125 a month. Because $3,125 a month, take away 20% in taxes, you end up with $2,500. You need to make $20 an hour. 50% of the jobs out there today are minimum wage. That means $15 an hour or less. So you've already taken 50% of the jobs that are currently available and you've wiped them off the map. None of them are going to make you anywhere near the amount of money you're claiming. Then let's add in the fact that 60% of all new jobs are minimum wage jobs, federal minimum wage jobs. So 60% of all new jobs are $7 to $9 an hour. So if we assume, and that's for 40 hours a week. You could do it for $10 an hour if you worked 80 hours a week. So you work 80 hours a week at $10 an hour, you could make $31.25 a month. But good luck finding a $10 an hour job to work 80 hours a week. Get more jobs. Not as easy as you think, because they all want you to be exclusively working for them and available on call for them. So juggling 2 jobs is surprisingly difficult. That's why so many people in the country have trouble doing it. They usually end up with low pay, high risk jobs like pizza delivery or something like that, because the hours are flexible. They will let you work strange hours, which allows you to jive with a second job. Try getting 2 9-to-5s. One person can't occupy the same space at the same time in 2 different places. It just doesn't work. I trust me, I know. I worked 3 jobs, 120 hours a week, and 2 of those were self-employment jobs. One was a YouTube channel, one was my own personal business that I actually had to pay other people to run. It's not easy, and it will mentally and physically break you. More realistically, you're going to make $1,280 a month, which is a take-home of $1,000 a month. Now you take that $1,000 a month and you subtract your $400 rent, you got $600. Now subtract your car and your insurance and your gasoline, and you got $200 a month. That's barely enough for food. Forget about health insurance, you're not getting that. So if you get sick or hurt, well, you're financially ruined for the rest of your life. You're making little enough that you might be able to get food stamps, which will help a lot. Because believe it or not, it's pretty hard to eat on $200 a month. I mean, I could do it. I could eat on $50 a month and I'll be dead in 2 years. Because malnutrition is going to creep up on you. Eating healthy on that little amount of money, well, it depends on your knowledge set on what foods to eat in order to maintain some level of nutrition. Let's assume for the moment that you're some sort of a robot and taste doesn't matter. That you'll just eat whatever you can eat. The taste is completely irrelevant. Enjoyment's irrelevant. You can just eat the same porridge every day and you're fine. Let's just worry about the macronutrients, keeping you healthy. That's harder than you think as you go down in the dollar amount you can spend. Because as your dollar amount you can spend goes down, you're going to naturally tend to migrate towards certain foods like pastas, which are very unhealthy. But then again, if you're working 80 hours a week, you're probably burning enough calories that you're okay from a caloric point of view. But if you don't eat the right things with it, malnutrition takes a long time to creep up on you. And because it takes such a long time, most people don't recognize it for what it is, nor know how to fix it. So you're going to need to do a lot of research on the internet connection you don't have because you can't afford an internet connection. Just your phone. So you're $25 a month for your phone because most jobs you're going to have a phone. Especially a delivery job, it's mandatory. Can't deliver pizza without a phone. Good luck. So what I want to know from you is, seeing as how 50% of the entire country does not make $2,500 a month. 50% of the entire country doesn't make anywhere near $2,500 a month. 50% of the entire country makes $30,000 a year or less. That is divided by 12. That is $2,500 a month on the dot. Pre-tax. All right, because remember, you need to make $3,025 in order to make $2,500. So literally, roughly, I want to say 55 to 60% of the country does not make your mythical $2,500 a month. So usually what's happening here is you have people who are making that kind of money, and their naivety and their ignorance of reality, ignorance in a non-derogatory manner. People usually take ignorance to be a derogatory word. It's not. Ignorance, it simply means you're unaware. Willful ignorance, however, is derogatory. And for a lot of people, this is willful ignorance. So there's a pre-pandemic. With the pandemic, we have no idea what the hell's going on. But pre-pandemic, there's approximately 160 million working Americans. And about 90 to 100 million of those did not make $2,500 a month. So you're already fucked. So where are you getting this $2,500 a month? Where is this mythical job that an undocumented immigrant worker is able to go and just say, hey, I want to make $2,500 a month. I'm ready and willing to work as hard as I need to. Let's make $2,500 a month. Yeah, dream on. Okay? I mean, I can go out right now and get a job for $12 an hour, roughly. $9 an hour delivering pizza. You add in tips, you're going to be about $12 an hour. It's a high-risk, high-cost job. You have to have a car. You have to have commercial auto insurance, because if you don't have commercial auto insurance and you get into an at-fault accident, you lose your home. I've seen it happen. My sister's husband has a $25,400 civil judgment against him because when his insurance company found out he was delivering pizza and didn't have commercial coverage, they said, we're not covering the accident. So he can never own a home. He can never own a car because they'll take it. Unless he moves to a state with a homestead clause, then maybe he can get a house. Maybe. Good luck. All right, so you got to have commercial insurance. The average person is going to pay $400 or $500 a month for car insurance. All right, no. That's with commercial coverage, because commercial coverage basically doubles your insurance premium, and that's if you could find an insurance company that will insure pizza delivery. I suggest State Farm. They're the only ones I'm aware of that do that, at least for national companies. When I bought my electric car, I contacted about 30 different insurance companies, and I started to get really, really scared because everyone used the exact same words, like they were reading it out of a script book. Whenever I said pizza delivery, I'm sorry, sir, we don't insure that kind of risk. And I just signed the note on a $17,000 car. And let's assume you got the car for free, or the car is already paid off and the car is reliable. Let's also assume you're a mechanic and can do most of your own maintenance. So $12 an hour. That's something you could reasonably do. And you can get that job like that. I could walk in that store right now and they'll hire me on the spot, basically. I could almost go to work the same day. Not many jobs you can do that. So $12 an hour, maybe 13. Okay, let's assume you manage to get 40 hours a week. Because of the pandemic and because nobody wants these shit low-pay slave wage jobs, you could probably get 40 hours a week. That's very doable. 3 years ago, that was actually going to be pretty hard. You have to be pretty good to get 40 hours a week because they'd rather have more drivers working less hours. So let's assume $12 an hour times 160 hours a month, approximately. That's $1,920 a month. First of all, you have to times that by 80% to get your after-tax value, $1,536 a month. And we're going to subtract from that your $400 in rent. That's actually pretty generous. Good luck with that. I don't know where you're going to get rent for $400 a month for 4 people, but let's go with it. So minus 400 for your car insurance, and minus about $400 for gas. Like I said, high risk, low pay. You're looking at $336 left per month. You're going to need at least $50 a month for incidentals. That's, replacing your shoes every 6 months, you will. And that's if you buy good shoes. That's if you buy really good shoes. You buy good, $150, $200 name brand, high quality, not Nikes. They're garbage for this purpose. For an on your feet job, they're garbage. You're going to need a pair of Danners or a pair of Chippewas, something like that. Something that's actually going to be able to handle you walking, 15,000 steps a day. So you're looking at $200. That's $400 a year. What does that come out to? $100 a quarter. So that's $33 a month just for shoes. Yeah, you'd be surprised how fast these incidentals can add up. But let's call it $50 a month for incidentals. You're going to have to pay utilities. Let's call it $100 a month. 4 people living very, very frugally could probably do $400 a month for utilities. So that's $100 each. You've got $186. You have to have a phone. Let's assume you get a prepaid dirt cheap phone, $25 a month. Now you have $161 left. And this is getting $12 an hour, by the way. You have $161 left. You still haven't actually paid for your basic expenses: toothpaste, regular clothing, toiletries, shampoo, soap, whatever, toilet paper. You still haven't paid for those basics. Let's call that, if you're really, really frugal, I bet you can do it for 30. I mean, you're going to have to go to thrift stores to get clothing because you're not buying decent clothing in the stores for that amount of money. But you could probably, let's call it $31 to make it an even number. You have $130 left. Now you have to eat. Well, you're not eating on $130 a month. I mean, if you live in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, there is a place you can go to on Street Road, right across from the, it was a Giant. I think it's a Giant where the Papa John's pizza is. It's called Bensalem Wholesale Foods. You could probably eat there for $130 a month. But your utilities are going to go up now because you're going to need a freezer, because you're going to have to store this food, because you can't just go there every day and buy whatever you want. Whatever they have, it's a one-off deal. So, for example, when I saw, center cut pork chops for $1 a pound, I bought 40 pounds. So you're going to have resources even if you don't have cash. So I would use a low-interest credit card, buy the 40 pounds for the pork chops, then pay it off over time as I made the money, before the interest kicks in. So you got to pay it off in 30 days. So if you're resource rich but cash poor, you can do that. But now you're going to spend an extra $10 a month running that freezer, maybe $15 a month running that freezer. So that's going to cut into your expenses here a little bit. But if all 4 of you chip in, that's $3 a piece, $3.50 a piece. You could do that. That's doable. Get a big stand-up freezer, because you're either that or you have to buy whatever they have. And if whatever they have isn't nutritionally usable, well, you're going to run into a nutrition problem again. This is a bigger problem than people think. They underestimate food. Now, at this dollar amount, you'll qualify for food stamps. So not only does that allow you to keep the $130 a month, but that allows you to spend almost $200 a month in food. So again, you're cheating. You're getting food stamps. Which we're against, right? We're against the food stamps. But, here's a person making $12 an hour and they can't even afford to feed themselves and they have no health insurance. So if they get sick or injured, they're fucked. I mean, are people truly that willfully ignorant at what it actually takes to survive in this country? And this is 4 people sharing an apartment. Imagine one person trying to survive. Imagine one person trying to survive. I mean, sure, I can go to Walmart and work for $9 an hour. Sell your soul to Walmart for garbage slave wages. They actually have classes that teach you how to use welfare services. Because they pay so little. Go to Amazon, make $15 an hour. And well, good luck as you destroy your body over the next 6 months. There's a reason the turnover rate at Amazon is 150%. Because it's a demoralizing job that physically and mentally destroys you. Okay? Don't give me this shit about grinding and working hard to get by. You're not going to get by on $15 an hour. You ain't doing crap at $15 an hour. I mean, $15 an hour is $30,000 a year. That's $37,000 after taxes. That's your $3,125. That's your $3,125 per month. You can make it Amazon. That's if you can get 40 hours and if your body can withstand the job. Again, turnover rate of 150% per year. There's a reason for that, and it's not because people are lazy. Okay? Not everybody has the kind of body that can be a roofer and work out in the hot sun 10 hours a day, 60 hours a week. Not everybody can do that, no matter how hard they work, no matter how much drive they have, no matter how much willpower they have. And then even if they can do it for a short time, they're still not going to make enough money to actually get ahead faster than it destroys their body physically. You know how many of those kind of people end up crippled at 40 because of that kind of work? Oh, well, our great-great-great-grandfathers used to work the land 80 hours a week, and they died at 40! There's a reason the life expectancy was 35 years back then. Because they destroyed their bodies. How long can you abuse your body and survive? You think these people lived 80 years old? You think Benjamin Franklin worked the land? No! He had slaves to do that. And they lived to 30. No dissing on Ben Franklin. He's fucking awesome. He was one of the better guys in our history. But the point is, the people have these mythical concepts of what is and isn't possible. Your body is a machine. That machine breaks when you abuse it. I gotta blow my nose. Let me pause that for a second. And worse, to live that kind of life, you have to be raised to live that kind of life. You have to start working toward that kind of a lifestyle before you're capable of making decisions on your own. So you have to be raised like that. If you happen to not be raised like that, you're at such a massive disadvantage, you have no idea. You have no clue. So the question is, are people this willfully ignorant of the reality that surrounds us? That we are literally a country of slaves and refuse to recognize it for ourselves. I make $700 a month by choice because I would rather live at the razor's edge of survival and make $700 a month with the knowledge that I can improve that in the future when I stop screwing up and I actually start getting back into business and crap, rather than go suck someone's dick for $11 an hour. Suck corporate dick for $11 an hour. Fuck that. You know why I'm thinking about going back to delivering pizza for 1 day a week? Because first of all, they don't pay $4 an hour on the road here. They pay $9 an hour on the road here. And second of all, just for the physical exercise. Once or twice a week I'm thinking about. Once I get back into shape a little bit, because right now I'm really not physically in shape. COVID fucked me up pretty bad. and I fucked up. But, just for the physical exercise. Just that one day a week, just to go physically do something and sit in this goddamn house every day. Okay, but this mythical concept of, oh, you just work hard and make $2,500 a month. Well, first of all, there are very few jobs that you're going to qualify for without an education or an inside deal. Most high-end jobs require either an education, an expensive one, or they require networking. They require that you have connections to somebody who can get you into that job over somebody else. Okay? So, I know so-and-so's brother who knows so-and-so's, CFO or whatever, and he said, you put in a good word for me, and so I have a little bit better chance of getting that job than the guy off the street. Okay, so if you can't network, you've already eliminated 90% of the higher paying jobs. And the few that are left, people are fighting tooth and nail for. I mean, pre-pandemic, you were looking at even the low-paying minimum wage jobs. You were looking at a 10-to-1 ratio. For every one person they hired, there were 10 people wanting that job. One of the things that this pandemic has done is it's wiped out 600,000 people. So suddenly, 500,000 jobs are available. People say, oh, people are sitting at home lazy and unemployment. You fucking idiot. No. There's just for the first time in a very long time, there are more people than jobs. And so people can be choosy and say, $10 an hour, fuck you. Sit down and use your brain. $15 an hour, 40 hours a week. Find me a city where you can survive. No cheat codes. You're not allowed to use cheat codes. You're not allowed to share an apartment. You're not allowed to use welfare services. That means no food stamps, no state health care. Your requirements are your own apartment, your own car, health care. And you pay for your basic needs. Electric, water, heat, and basic phone service. No internet, no cable TV, no luxuries, nothing. Just basic survival. You put it down on paper where you can do that in this country for $15 an hour. I'll wait. I'll assume you paused and went and did that. All right. Now, remember, no cheat codes, no cherry picking special details. Okay. If you found an apartment for $400 a month, well, figure out how many people are unemployed in your state, and there better be that many apartments available, because otherwise it's cherry picking. It has to be an average, something that anybody can do, where I can go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, you, here's what you can do to survive on $15 an hour. Good luck with that. You let me know where that's possible. Okay? You let me know. 50% of the people in this country make less than $30,000 a year or less. 50% of the entire population. That's $15 an hour or less equivalent. So if you make $20 an hour, but you can only get 30 hours a week, you're making $15 an hour. Why do you think they're only giving you 30 hours a week? They don't want to pay 40 hours at $15 an hour or $20 an hour. So they increase the wage but cut the hours. It's the same cost to them. Your metric is 2,000 hours a year. That's your metric. That's your full time. Try to do that on one job. Good luck. Let me know how that works out for you.